Hey, what's up guys? It's Iro here and today I'll be ranking one of my favorite sci-fi horror series, which is the Terminator series. There has been 5 films so far, and today I'll be telling which ones I like and which ones I don't like so much. But before we go into my list, please leave yours down in the comments if you have seen these movies and want to share your opinion. And now to my list. Number 5, we have Terminator Genisys. I don't actually hate this movie. I found the first hour of this movie actually very entertaining. It's sort of what if this happened? What if this happened? It's fun little game, but I think when the twist happens in the halfway of the movie, that is the point where this movie loses me and feel starts to feel jagged and forced, and you know they just had to make this because of that. I don't think that works, but overall I think this is very mediocre or something there. But the first hour is it's not awesome, but it holds really up and it's interesting. But the second hour doesn't feel that good. The visuals in the movie they're sometimes good. They're not the best, but sometimes you really see the effort in them. But sometimes they're just a little skipped over and something like that. So overall, I would give this movie 6 out of 10. And now to my number 4, which is Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines. This one just feels like they were redoing the Terminator 2. They have this OP robot thing from the future and Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator to protect John Carter, and then they went on adventure, and then they ended up in a factory and trying to stop Judgement Day from happening, and then it all just happens all the same. But the bad thing is it isn't really good this time. It just feels plain. It lacks something key elements from the T2, which is mostly you can feel the plot as well. You know, it lacks very much key aspects of it, and doesn't feel like it's built very well from the opening, and it just starts to lack, and you can see it from the halfway of the movie. But from the positive side, it feels sometimes quite interesting, and it has something new, and when that new happens, it starts to be really good. But there was too little for that, and that's why I'm gonna give this movie 6.5 out of 10. And to my number 3, we have Terminator Salvation. This one actually brings something new from the franchise, and it it's refreshing from Terminator 3. But the biggest problem I have with this movie is that it feels it didn't have to be made. Many films, many sequels don't feel like that. They are like that, but they don't feel like that because they're built to not show it, and it makes itself important. But I think this movie lacks it a little bit and doesn't work on that side. But on the positive side, this is fun adventure and impactful, and overall you can enjoy it very much if you don't think that this didn't need to be here. But overall, I would give this movie 7 out of 10. And then to my number 2, which is a big leap up. This is much better than number 3 on my list. And my number 2 is Terminator 2 Judgement Day. Many actually put this one on the top of the list, but we'll get to my reasons why that isn't the case later in the video. But mostly, I think this is very fun adventure, and it's in the quality, it's very big step up from Terminator 1, but which is also great. But this does things better in if you take it scene by scene. But the plot isn't that good at the end, but overall it's very entertaining, and you can see how they wanted to make it great and how they made it great. And the visuals in this movie are just gorgeous for the time. It isn't always the best, but if you compare some movies from that age, this is really good. And yeah, about the negatives still, but Sarah Connor, I don't like seeing her being this crazy lady, but I don't know if it's just me, but I don't like that, and I don't think that quite fits. But overall, the movie has a threatening villain who is so badass, and some interesting what if gaming again. And this movie, I recommend it. It's awesome movie, and watch it if you haven't. And I would give this movie a 9 out of 10. But it isn't my number one today, but number one is The Terminator. This is awesome movie. This is one of the best I've seen in ages when I first watched this. And this just, the plot and the structuring of it and building it up is so amazing in this movie. And James Cameron knew what kind of movie he wanted to make, and he made it and totally pulled it off and made it great. This is just awesome. The visuals may not be good, but there was not big budget either. But yeah, but everything else except visuals is awesome. The score is fantastic. The performances are awesome. The plot is so well built and paced, and everything is just awesome. And totally must see if you haven't this one. And I would give this movie 9.5 out of 10. And that was my list. What's yours? Leave your list down in the comments, and if you want to say something about my list, leave it down in the comments too. And until that time, we'll see you later.